Welcome to the Chitlin Circuit. The Wandavision miniseries is over, and I don't know about you, but I was left with more than a couple of unanswered questions. Today we're looking back at the season finale and what may be next for Monica Rambeau in the MCU. This should be obvious, but before we start, this video is full of spoilers. You've been warned. While the Battle of the Visions and the Witches took up most of the screen time, Captain Rambeau had two adversaries of her own to contend with in the final episode. Sword director Tyler Hayward and the fake Pietro Maximoff being controlled by Agatha. Fake Pietro holds Monica captive in his man cave, where she discovers that fake Pietro is an actual real person, an actor named Ralph Boner, likely the same Ralph that Agnes has mentioned as her off-camera husband throughout the series. Monica uses her powers to discover the source of Agatha's magic controlling him. Monica returns to the center of town just as director Hayward empties his whole damn clip on Wanda's kids. Jumping in the path of the bullets, they go straight through Monica's body and exit on the other side. Monica was there to help Wanda give birth to Tommy and Billy, and in the end, she was there to protect them. A cool bookend for this part of Monica's story. But how did Monica stop those bullets? What exactly are Monica's powers? Her power set is unclear and probably still evolving, but we can take some clues from her comic book counterpart and what the series has shown thus far. We know that passing through the hex multiple times has rewritten Monica's cells. When she emerged through the barrier in episode 7, her eyes were glowing blue, and she was able to see the cosmic radiation from the hex. When we see Monica's eyes change colors, they look to be taking on the hue of the energy in front of her. In the comics, Monica uses a few names: pulsar, photon, and spectrum. She is able to absorb and control gamma rays, ultraviolet rays, microwaves. Basically, she can manipulate all forms of energy on the electromagnetic spectrum. The MCU version of Monica hasn't begun to manipulate energy yet, but she is definitely able to visualize it. Another one of Monica's comic abilities is intangibility, the power to phase through solid matter. When Monica steps in front of Hayward's bullets to protect Tommy and Billy, the bullets phase through her while her eyes turn yellow. Speaking of Hayward, there's been tension between Monica and the director since she returned from the snap. Hayward appeared to be a nice guy in the beginning, but as Wandavision played out, Hayward lied and withheld information, like when he armed a drone to take out Wanda without telling Monica. Now that Hayward has been arrested, Sword is without a director. Will Monica step up and take lead of the agency her mother founded? Will we see Tyler Hayward again? He doesn't seem like the type to not hold a grudge. In the mid-credit scene, a Skrull operative pulls Monica aside to let her know an old friend of her mother's wants to meet with her. This is most definitely Nick Fury, who we last saw in the post-credit for Spider-Man Far From Home. He was working on some top-secret mission in a space station. Will Monica be heading to space next? Kevin Feige confirmed that Teyonah Parris will be in Captain Marvel 2. Monica used to see Carol as one of her heroes, but something's changed with that relationship, and it's been hinted at throughout WandaVision. But why is she beefing with Carol Danvers? Will Monica end up testing her powers against Captain Marvel herself? And what's Monica's superhero name? Wanda just earned the title of Scarlet Witch, so we know Marvel doesn't take the naming of their superheroes lightly. Is she going to be Photon, Spectrum, Daystar, Pulsar? Tell us what you think in the comments, and thank you for watching the Chitlin Circuit. Be sure to check out other videos on our channel.